Well, we have a special segment coming up. Special report. We have really upped the ante regarding our production, and we've even hired an on-the-ground reporter who is reporting live from the National DSA Convention. Who is that reporter, Nando?
It's one Cale Brooks.
Why don't we watch?
Yeah, thanks. So we're here at the Javits Center, actually, to cover the DSA National Convention. I'm going to be speaking with our DSA correspondent, Michael. All right, so Michael, I'm meeting you here at the Javits Center, but I'm not seeing any delegates here. Are you sure that Are you sure that the
Did you hear that? That's them. They're coming up right now. A lot of them, delegates, and you know, that's the world's best ferry. That's delegate transportation. It's been like intense. Like the feeling on the street when you just are walking around is just like pretty tense because people know a lot of major decisions are being made about the future of, well, the Javits Center, because they gave them full control over the whole like program for the Javits Center for the next year. So that's pretty cool.
What's like the big hot button issue of the day at the convention? What's controversial? What are people talking about?
I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of controversy here since I've been standing alongside the DSA convention.
In years past, there's been some internal caucuses within DSA, such as Momentum, the Communist Caucus, Build, Bread and Roses. Who are the major players this year that we should keep our eyes out on?
Well, there was a caucus called Saturday Caucus, and they were great, but they had a big discussion and they broke up. So now they split into 4 different caucuses. There's another one called maybe it's a good idea caucus, and they didn't nobody really trusts them, so they had a bad showing. One of them is called Hey, it's time and let's get out of this little room now caucus, and they have been so sweet.
Typically, the National Convention ends up inviting important people on the left or big socialists in the country, politicians, thinkers, to come give speeches. Are there any big names that we should expect to see this year?
I mean, look, you know, I feel like since it's at the Javits Center, the Jacob Javits Center, you're probably going to be seeing Jacob Javits, you know, doing a lot of talking at this convention.
The Javits Center is probably most well known for most people as where Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election.
Right.
It was supposed to be where her final, her campaign rally on the night of the election was going to be held.
Well, why do you think they're having it here?
Well, is the DSA here in order to break glass ceilings?
Well, it's here to commemorate that night.
Oh, really? My sense...
Wait, there she is.
Is that Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, she just came by.
So at the 2019 National Convention, the members ended up voting for Medicare for All, labor organizing, the Green New Deal, and class struggle elections as the national priorities. Are there any other priorities that we might expect to see this year emerge from the convention?
You know, you got me on that one because I've been trying to find out all day what's going on in there. And like every time I go to the door, I say hi to the guy that's standing there, and I'm like, said, well, you know, it's the Democratic Socialist Convention, and then he says, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. And he won't let me in, and then we get into a long thing, and it, you know, go back and forth, and so I haven't been able to get inside.
You haven't gotten inside at all?
No.
From what I can tell online, it seems like people are on Zoom calls for this convention. Are they on the Zoom calls inside the Javits Center?
You know, Carl, like the thing about the convention happening at the Javits Center is I'm so sure about it because I got, I was on the Slack, and they put me in the channel, and it was like, when I got in there, I just started to like smile, and then I was like, you know what we should do, all of us together here right now, is just pretend that we're really tiny, and then we'll be able to go inside. And that's how we did it. You know, like hats off.
Thank you, Michael, for answering. I think what we could say is all of our questions regarding the National Convention this year. Anything that you want to impart to our viewers about how they can maybe get involved with DSA?
I mean, honestly, first, I just want to say thank you for letting me stand here and sending me over to the convention center. And if you want to get involved, the website is dsausa.org.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual website. Go there and...
Great. Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you for your coverage today.
Thank you for your coverage today.
Wow.
Wow,
Intrepid
that's,
shoe leather reporting. Cale, Dan, you're looking big. Have you been working out, dude?
No, it's just it's a lens perspective.
Lens. Okay, yeah.
No, that's a DSA correspondent, Michael. I hope people appreciate his coverage. It was I think we realized a little too late that the National Convention is not at the Javits Center, but I think we got to the heart of the National Convention's politics, nevertheless.
Yeah.
So.
Jacob Javits spoke. He rose from the dead and spoke.
It was pretty rousing.
No, but yeah. Oh, well, tell us more about that, Cale. I'm curious about it.
No, you wouldn't believe it, but I mean, he sounds like Debs. Like when Jacob Javits, he has somewhat of like a, now a strange legacy, that the fact that his name is all over big corporate buildings, but he actually he was a Debsian of his day, and so I think it was fitting that the DSA brought him in. He agreed. He probably would have agreed with a lot of what Vivek actually said. So, he talked about the challenges of organizing Amazon. So
nice. Yeah. So the Weekend Caucus, is that the caucus we should be joining as hosts of weekends? Or the Saturday. Maybe it's a good idea caucus? That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty damn good.
I'm going to be honest. I was among those that splintered within the Saturday caucus. And so there's still some bad blood, to be honest. But we shouldn't let that get in the way.
Not those trots in the Weekend Caucus.
Yeah, the trots and the Maoists are on one side. The class reductionists are on the other. It's ugly. It's ugly. Anyways, the National Convention is happening right now. It's on Zoom calls. It obviously does matter, and hopefully there are good results from it. I don't know if this, like, I'm a delegate technically, which, like, thankfully I don't have to vote at this time. It's later, and I probably should pay more attention. But like, it does. The thing is, like, it does matter even at times when DSA feels kind of like, whether it's like Comic-Con or like cosplaying or like, oh, we're part of this big project and yet we don't have our hands on any levers of power. But it does matter to try to get these things right, whether it's within the internal organization or building out major campaigns, because the DSA is the most significant left formation in this country, and like certainly since the 60s. And maybe even earlier. And like Vivek was saying, I think although there certainly is a consensus, there's a far greater emphasis on the importance of embedding the left within the working class and on labor organizing than there's been, probably at least since aspects of the 60s and SDS. But, again, I think we look back to gain greater lessons to the left of the 30s than the 60s, and kind of realizing where mistakes were made, but also just like kind of what are the big structural factors that like our organizing sits on top of, and understanding, like Vivek was saying, like both the fact like who we're organizing with, who working class people are and what their interests are. And then like what the power of capital really is, and being, sober about that. So the DSA plays a very important role in that, as frustrating as it can be at times for those who are part of it. and so I'm being as optimistic as possible that like it really like we want the DSA to come out better and stronger, you know, after the convention and to keep moving in a good direction. So jokes aside, you know, figured we should shout out the Democratic Socialists. So
if you enjoyed this clip from Jacobin Weekends, please hit like and subscribe. You can also watch the full episode or catch any future live stream by clicking the join button below and becoming a Jacobin YouTube member. Thank you.